In previous versions of AutoCAD, editing Hatch usually meant jumping back and forth between model space and a dialog box full of settings. In AutoCAD 2011, we can make dynamic, intuitive modifications to our hatch right on our screen. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to edit our hatch using direct manipulation. On my screen, I've got an architectural example. This is a drawing of a master bath, and I have a hatch pattern in this drawing. This hatch represents the tile on the floor. My hatch has some problems. As you can see, it's overlapping some of the geometry in this drawing. To edit my hatch, I will click to select it. And notice AutoCAD brings up my hatch settings on this new context-sensitive tab in my ribbon. From here, I can change any of the attributes of this hatch. I can change the pattern, I can change its color, I can apply transparency, change its angle or its scale. Pretty much any of the settings that were available when I created this hatch are also available when I want to make changes. Now the change I'm interested in involves my boundaries. So I'm going to come over to the Boundaries panel and click the Add Boundary tool. And I would like to add this boundary and this one and this one. I will then hit Enter, and I'll hit Escape to deselect my hatch. Now I'd like to make a few more changes to this pattern. Once again, I'll select the hatch. This time, let's take a look at this center grip. This is new to AutoCAD 2011. We can use this grip to dynamically edit our hatch using direct manipulation. To use the tool, I'll hover over the grip, and AutoCAD brings up a menu with 4 options: Stretch, Origin Point, Hatch Angle, and Hatch Scale. I'm going to select Stretch. Now, Stretch is just like Move. I can use this option to pick my hatch up and place it somewhere else in my drawing. Now, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to hit Escape to cancel. I'll hover over the grip again. This time I'll select Origin Point. And as I move my cursor, I can dynamically drag this pattern on my screen. This allows me to easily and visually center this pattern in my room. Once I get the hatch in the location that I like, I can click on Screen to accept. Let's make another change. Once again, I'll hover. This time I'll select Hatch Angle. And as I move my cursor, I'm now dynamically adjusting the rotation of this pattern. I can pick a point on screen if I like to set my rotation, or I can enter a value. I'd like to rotate this hatch 45 degrees, so I'm going to type 45 and hit Enter. And notice my hatch didn't change. Do you have any idea why? Take a look up here in my settings. Notice this hatch is already rotated 45 degrees. If I wanted to rotate it 45 degrees from its current rotation, I would need to select Hatch Angle and enter a value of 90. I'd like to make one more change. Let's say we're going to go with a different size tile, maybe one that's half as big as what we're currently using. I'll hover over the grip. We'll select Hatch Scale, and I can dynamically adjust its scale, or I can enter a value. To make my hatch half as big as its current size, what value would I use to make my hatch half as big as its current size? It's not going to be 0.5. Take a look right here at my current scale. Since this is set to 100, if I want to make my hatch half as big, I'll need to enter a value of 50. When I'm finished making my changes, I'll hit Escape to deselect. Let's select the hatch one more time because I'd like to show you another way we can use this grip. I'm going to hover to bring up the menu, and then I'll select the Stretch option. When the Stretch option is current, if I tap my Control key, AutoCAD will cycle to the next option. Right now I'm adjusting my origin. Let me tap Control, I'm now adjusting my rotation. Tap Control again and I'm adjusting my scale. So we can use the Control key to cycle between the options. Let's hit Escape to cancel, and then I'll hit Escape again to deselect. Let's take a look at one more thing. In AutoCAD 2011, there's a new Draw Order property that's associated with Hatch. If I come up to the Modify panel and open up the Draw Order menu, right here at the bottom is a new setting called Send Hatches to Back. This is a great tool to use to send all of your hatch to the back of your drawing. Using the new hatch editing tools in AutoCAD 2011 takes the guesswork out of modifying hatch. Never again do we have to bounce back and forth between a dialog box and preview to fine-tune a pattern. We can now create the perfect hatch in one step using direct manipulation.